Hey lovely people, Dr. Kayla here. I love interacting with you guys and I always want to know what's on your mind. So a good few weeks ago, I've asked you guys to ask me anything through my Insta story and your response, it's just amazing. I really love this energy going between you and me. So I'm starting a new segment called Ask Me Anything where you can just, ask me anything. So let's jump right into the first question, okay? Edwin asks, I have 2 wisdom teeth. Every time I eat, food stuck inside. Was wondering, should I remove it? Great question, Edwin. You should definitely remove your impacted wisdom tooth if it is constantly causing food stuck problem. When you have an impacted wisdom tooth, which means the wisdom tooth is growing in such a way it's being blocked by the tooth in front, which we call the second molar. Food tends to get lodged here, which is at the back part of your mouth in between your wisdom tooth and your second molar. And when food gets stuck, plaque will accumulate and bacteria will go to that side, eventually causing cavities. Something interesting to know is that when cavities develop on the wisdom tooth, it is actually still alright because you can just remove that wisdom tooth. But the reason you need to get it out as soon as possible is because you don't want cavities to form on the second molar. As when the cavities are so deep to the extent that you have to extract the second molar, it will significantly affect your occlusion or your biting or chewing ability. Another time when you should definitely remove your wisdom tooth is when it's causing pain. That usually happens when you have pericoronitis, which is basically an inflammation of the gum surrounding or over your impacted wisdom tooth. If the infection spreads to the other parts of your face, you might have some facial swelling and you might even have fever. That is when you know you need to get your wisdom tooth extracted. So the second question, Alfian asks, coffee or tea? Definitely coffee. I like my coffee super bitter, just like my life. I'm just joking. Let's jump to the next question. William asks, is wisdom teeth removal considered a risky operation? Interesting question. There's definitely a risk to every operation. As for surgical removal of wisdom tooth, there is a risk of nerve injury. That really depends on individual cases. If the root of the wisdom tooth is very near to the nerve running beneath it, in which we call the inferior alveolar nerve, there is definitely a higher chance of having nerve injury. When you injure your nerve, there might be temporary or permanent numbness over your lower lips and your chin. So usually we'll take an X-ray or a CBCT scan to sort of assess the relation between the roots of the wisdom tooth to the nerve and also how deeply impacted is your wisdom tooth within your jaw. This is to minimize the risk of nerve injury and jaw fracture. Another common risk of wisdom tooth extraction is swelling, bruising, and minor bleeding. That is actually very common. It's just a normal healing response, so you don't have to worry about it. In some cases though, there might be a chance of developing dry socket, which is basically the infection of the extraction socket, but that usually happens in smokers, in diabetic patients, or if the patient is having any medical condition or taking any medications that might impair the healing ability. I know all of that might sound a little bit scary, but if your wisdom tooth is growing upright and it's not causing any problems to you, there's no food stuck, you're not having any speech difficulties, you can actually just let it be, live in peace with your wisdom tooth. So, Swari Tang asks, suggestions to make our teeth clean and healthy. Well, sorry, the best way to keep your teeth clean and healthy is by brushing your teeth. That is the cheapest way, that is the easiest way, and that is the best way to keep your teeth clean. To learn how to brush your teeth more effectively or in the right way, you can check out my last video, link in the description. That's all from me today. I had so much fun answering your questions, so don't be shy. Drop them in the comment section below or inbox me on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram. And of course, last but not least, don't forget to brush your teeth and keep your gigi squeaky clean. I'll see you next time. Bye!